Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94, back at you again with another episode of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. This is episode 107, and welcome. See if we can get our guest. What's up, Jeremy Richardson? What's up, Andrea? Okay. What's up, Marlon? Big homie kicks 80.
Hi.
There she is. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm all right. It's been a day, but I'm glad to be here with you.
I hear you. I hear you. Same here.
Yeah. Well, welcome to episode 107 of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. Our guest is the Tubby Effect. Do you mind telling the people a bit about where you're from, what you do, what you rock today?
Sure. So I'm Jackie. I also go by Tubby. I'm from the New York, New Jersey area. And today, what did I rock? I wore some Reebok Classics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little
All white?
old school flavor. No, they were like, it's like a hot fuchsia.
Even better.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, before we get into the meat of the show, I always ask my guests, what's the most positive thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic started?
Man, I would have to say what I'm doing now. Creating content like sneaker content, sneaker styling content. Prior to the pandemic, I was kind of like searching for like my niche per se. And I feel like the pandemic really helped me to stay true to who I was. Like I've always been a sneaker person, and as soon as I locked in, I'm grateful. God has been doing some good things.
Good to hear. We'll just dive right in. The first part of the show is sneaker origins.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to ask you, what's your first, sneaker memory or moment?
My first sneaker memory had to be, I want to say I was maybe in like second grade. My father had copped these. They're called Indiglo now, but in I think it was 99. They came out, and he got me and my brother the Indiglo, and that was like my first Jordan that I remember ever having. And it was just like, wow, like I love these, and like that kind of started my love for sneakers.
Okay. They were called that then too. I still got
Okay.
my like pair from back then.
Oh,
So
you cool. Yeah.
yeah.
More so,
Hey,
like,
it's all good.
yeah, the 14th of those 14 so much.
Yeah, that was senior year for me. So, I
Oh,
was already counting my own sneakers by then. So
well, that's all right.
yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, got me looking old here. School.
Not old. Seasoned. You're seasoned.
Seasoned. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right. So what was that next sneaker that really solidified things for you? Where you like, after the 14s, were you like, all right, I'm in this. I'm a sneaker person.
Man, for me, yet again, it was, well, there were three. So there were the Jordan 14s, red and white. No, red, black, and white. I forgot the name of them, but they came out in 2006. I
Okay.
forgot their name, but they were basically all black everywhere. They had like red accents. Maybe candy cane, maybe. I don't remember. And then the Cardinals that came out that year, the Cardinal sevens, and then
Okay.
I call them the ketchup and mustards, the other sevens that came out that same year.
Citrus.
The
Got
six
you.
that just resurfaced. It's been so many years. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So since now we've kind of made it to the mid 2000s, what was the sneaker from back in the day that kind of got away from you that you weren't able to get then, and you still haven't really grabbed but you'd like to have?
Truthfully, it had to be the Space Jams.
Okay.
I love that movie. Like I watched it literally every night because I'm a former ball player. So Space Jam
Okay.
was was my joy. And when I saw those sneakers, I was like, I gotta have them. I still don't have them yet, but soon I'll have them.
All right, now what size are you?
I am 8.5 men, 10 women.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Space Jam 11s. Okay, all right. All right. Now I got to ask you, what's the sneaker that you loved back in the day that you wouldn't be caught dead in now? We all have them, but
That's a good question. I might have to say any pair of 15s. I don't really like 15s.
thank you. My friend Key is in here. It's the worst Air Jordan ever made. Ever made. I own all of them except for one as far as the OGs, but it's the worst Air Jordan.
I've never really been drawn to those. And I mean, even Billie Eilish recently, released a pair, and I was just like, I mean, I don't know. I'm a neutrals person, so I do like that color, but it was just like, I've just never been a 15 person, so.
I actually wanted those. I did. I had to settle for the KOs because I couldn't get. But yeah, I mean, it didn't go with the fashion back then. It actually goes with today's fashion a lot more.
Yes.
But it wasn't a good shoe to actually hoop in because I was sliding all over the place.
I could imagine.
That tongue, tongue.
And for me, like, I don't really like bulky looking sneakers. So for me, it just looked very bulky from the side. And I was just like, I couldn't get with it at all.
Yeah. Like the only 15 that they could bring back that I would be interested in because my pair is so yellow is the UNC.
Okay.
Because I still have all of my old stuff, but a lot of it, yeah, you've had them since 2000, huh? How did he look? So, but back then I was young. I was just buying the Jordans because I couldn't, years prior. So
yeah.
Now you said you were a ball player.
Mm-hmm.
So before we move ahead a little bit, what was your favorite shoe to play in when you were actively playing basketball?
Okay, so probably unpopular opinion, but I did really like playing in my Adidas Pro models. They were cool for me.
Yeah, that was a big shoe in the early 2000s for basketball. They just brought back the ones LeBron played in.
Listen, and they're very light. Like, I loved feeling like I had on light shoes. No shade to LeBron, but a lot of his sneakers were very heavy. And I don't like feeling like I got to work extra to run. So.
Yeah, because when he was in high school, that was like, they had Adidas a lot. So he used to wear those a lot. That's a good basketball shoe. Props.
Thanks.
Props. All right, so now we've made it to kind of the sneaker teen years, kind of going high school to college. So do you remember the first sneaker you bought with your own money?
Yes. The first pair of sneakers I bought with my own money were the Cardinal 7s.
Okay, 2006.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I was so proud. I was like, this is a lot of money, but I'm very proud.
Now, just on the sidebar, I have to ask you, now those are supposed to come out later this month. Would you buy those again?
They got pushed back.
Oh, so they're not coming out in November?
I felt like they got pushed back. I could be wrong. I've been trying to keep up. So many releases at one time, it's hard to keep up.
Everything is getting pushed back. I have that 2006 pair.
Me too.
And I have an, but I don't think that I'm really not sure if I would buy them again.
It looked different. Did you see the pictures?
I haven't.
They looked a little different. The Citrus 7s were different from the 2006 Citrus 7s.
Yeah, I actually shot a video on that because I had a pair here and my old pair, and yeah, it was different. To me, the Cardinal, to be from 1992, it's such a plain. I know, it had to match, Michael Jordan's, but compared to the hair, the Bordeaux, the black and red, I don't know. A 7 isn't really a 7 to me if the tongue is solid.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way about the Olympics. I'm like, they cool. I have them because of what they are, but
right.
I don't wear them that much. I need that Bordeaux, that hair,
Right.
even the black and red, with the zigzags all over. I need that.
Oh my God. I love that pair. I don't have them, but I love them.
Hmm. So yeah, I mean, okay, all right, that's a good first shoe though. 2006 Cardinal. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Now I've seen, on your page, you do a lot of content. Do you thrift at all?
Thrifting, I haven't delved into thrifting yet. A lot of my friends do and people that I'm cool with, but I haven't dipped my toe in yet.
You should do it. It's a good thing,
That's what I hear. I have to jump on. I do.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um. Now, going back a little bit, to when you were buying those shoes, who were your style influences back then? You were a little younger.
Hmm. Back then, I would definitely have to say Debrat.
Okay.
Um, Definitely TLC, and Aaliyah. I was very tomboy-esque, tomboy chic, and so anything that I could wear that I would feel comfortable with and still be able to hoop in, I was wearing it. And like I saw those young ladies, and I was like, they kind of they get it. They don't hoop, but they look like they hoop. So yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. Cool. All right. So, um, we'll start with high school. When you were in high school, what were some of your go-to brands as far as like clothes to wear with the kicks?
Okay, so we're going back to Baby Fat. We're going Anichi. We're going Rockaware. We're I'm trying to think. And of course, I would wear like Nike. Most of the time, I was in sweatpants because I had basketball practice or something. But there was Champion. There was Russell. Starter. Um, so many, stuff from that time. So yeah, those were I want to say those were the main brands that I was rocking at that time with my sneakers.
Okay. Now, who was your favorite player? Like, who did you pattern your game after?
So when I was younger, it was definitely Michael Jordan was my favorite player, hands down. And then I started to I liked David Robinson. He was also a favorite of mine. And then once I got a little bit older, I liked I liked Gary Payton, John Stockton, Reggie Miller. Um, he he's kind of because we were both shooters. So like I kind of I guess I don't want to say tapped into him, but like I was a shooter too. So seeing him doing what he did, and then came Ray Allen. So it was just it was a whole thing. But my overall top player was Dwayne Wade. That was my guy.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you delved into, you talk about John Stockton and Gary Payton. So you actually know about basketball.
I
Okay.
basketball family, like it's a thing in my home.
Okay. Now, before we jump to halftime, because this wasn't even a part of the show, but I have to ask,
Sure.
who is the play? Who do you follow now?
Sorry. Oh,
Was
for
that?
me, my guy now.
Yeah.
So you want
Yeah.
NBA or WNBA? Where are we going with this?
No, we can do both.
Okay. NBA, my person is Steph Curry. He's a
Okay.
and I just my heart goes. It's just our games are very similar. Um,
Okay.
on the girls' side, she's not playing right now, but definitely Maya Moore and Candace Parker were my people, and Lisa Leslie. I'm sorry, forgot her. Another goat.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, like I don't, I'm from Cleveland,
Hmm.
so I'm supposed to hate Steph Curry because he stole like 3 championships from us.
Oh,
But I'll always root for the Cavs, but I'm a Lakers fan.
okay.
I was that way. Magic Johnson and James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's kind of what I grew up with.
Listen,
So
that was okay.
Yeah. So when I wear Lakers stuff, it's for that, as well as, Kobe and Shaq, guys like Cedric Ceballos and Nick Van Exel. I've just been a Lakers fan for a long
The
time.
OG Brotherhoods then?
What's that?
Did you get the OG Brotherhood ones?
Yeah, I got them, but
But
I'm so astringent with the way I wear things that since Michael Jordan, they never played for the Lakers, I can't wear a Lakers
I
thing with that.
I understand.
You know, I got lucky. I found a Wu-Tang shirt at Old Navy that like matches it perfectly.
You better
So,
go ahead.
hey, I'll DM it to you after the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, but um, I do want to get those Laker colored dunks.
The
You know,
Lisa Leslie also came out with a pair too. Did you see those?
yeah, my wife, she had a pair of those.
Nice.
So, I tried to. They only went up to a women's 12. It's kind of hard for me. I can fit that sometime, but not usually.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I would have liked to have had those because I've always liked her. And forgive me for saying this way, but I always look at the Sparks as the girls' Lakers.
But it is.
So but some people are like, oh, you should say it like that. It's disrespectful. I'm like, oh, well, all right. Yeah, I've had people say that. So, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. But, okay. Well, look, we're actually kind of ahead of schedule here. We're already at the halftime portion of the show.
Hey.
So what I've started for halftime is kind of asking either or questions to see, what you do. So,
Okay.
I guess from what you told me from the first half, I've got to ask you this question first. If you were picking a team and they got down to the last player and you had to pick between Gary Payton and John Stockton, who would you pick?
Oh Lord, why you do that to me?
They're two different point guards, but they're still point guards.
It's still because they're different. It depends on the scenario of the game. So like,
But you're a shooter. So who would you rather have in the backcourt with you?
I know. That's what I'm saying. The glove is my guy, but John, there's just something different about John.
Let's say I'm going to hit you with this. Just because you're a basketball person. Now, this may make me sound like a homer because I am from Cleveland, but Mark Price was better than John Stockton, and he plays very similar to Curry right now. John Stockton was just tougher and more durable than Mark Price.
Okay.
But skill-wise, I feel like Mark Price had him. But who you picking? Gary Payton, John Stockton?
Oh, man. John.
Okay, going with John.
John.
All right. Okay. So, next question. At the colorway on the shoe,
right?
What would you rather have between UNC or Bread?
Man. You got some really good questions. I just want to say, these are great questions. UNC.
Okay. All right. 80s kicks or 90s kicks?
I'm not gonna lie. That one's hard because I like the late 80s kicks better than I do like the early 80s. So it would be the late 80s leading into the 90s. So I'm gonna just have to say 90s.
Okay.
Because the 80s still influence the 90s kicks. So I'm gonna just say 90s.
All right. Jordan or Kobe?
In terms of what?
Overall.
What are we doing? This is hard. Truthfully, I'll take Kobe.
Okay.
I'm not even lie. His footwork is unmatched. And his work ethic, not to say that Michael Jordan didn't work hard or whatever, but there's Kobe's just he's just that's it. Kobe is just. End of story.
Okay. We got just a few more here before we jump into Current day
Okay.
shoe game. Um, lineup or raffle?
Lineup.
Okay. Okay. Um, my last one. This is kind of a hypey kind of question. So,
Okay.
aside from all the controversy, we just talking about shoes here.
Right.
Yeezy, Travis.
Easy.
Okay. Okay. All right. I enjoyed that. That was one of my favorite either ors off top. Thank you.
Of course. Of
I
course.
didn't get to. Usually, I throw a little bit of music in there,
Right.
but I don't really know what kind of music you listen to.
I'm eclectic. So
Okay.
I have an old soul. I grew up on a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire, Anita Baker, Heat Wave, that whole era.
Okay. All right. Well, I got one for you then.
Okay.
This is the Marvin Gaye or Stevie Wonder.
Stevie.
Okay. Okay. You didn't have to think about that when you
Nope.
Stevie.
That's
Okay.
my
All
guy.
right.
That's my
I
guy.
get one music with it there. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we're at shoe game. I'll say 2008, 17 to present. Right. In that time, last 5 years or so, what do you feel like is the hardest L you've had to take? A sneaker you really wanted, you just wasn't able to get. I have several.
My brain is going down the list. Um, One of them, well, do you just want one?
Oh, you could give me a couple.
Okay. One of them was the Melody Asani ones that came out. They're multicolored. The name just escaped me. I know they have watches on them. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're part of that Fearless pack.
Fearless. That's what it was.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
a Lely May 14s. Because you know I love a 14. So the
Hmm.
14s. I mean, I love those, and I love the story behind them. Um, a Lely May ones that came out. The blue and green.
You really?
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna say the other woods, the shadow looking woods, the
No.
black and but you. Everybody has those. I just assume like if you're a lady in the sneakers, you got the Khalifas. Everybody got
When
them.
I tell you,
Surprise!
I tried, and it just.
You're a women's 10.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No,
Sorry.
oh no, that's fine. That's fine. Yep. Women's 10, men's 8.5. And then recently, um, the midnight 11s.
Oh, the okay. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna keep a lookout. Like my my wife's pair is right there. I got lucky. We had like it was a bunch of them got returned at the Nike store by us. So that's how she got hers. It was like a 10 and 11. So my wife wears a 10 as well.
Oh,
So yeah, yeah. So
oh
um,
my God.
yeah. So um, hmm, yeah, I'll keep an eye out for you because a lot of people have returned those. Like
Wow.
so.
Well, I appreciate the eye because the
Yeah,
way the sneakers app doesn't like me, and I'm coming to terms with that.
yeah. I'm just hoping it's good to me this Saturday because I really need a pair of lost and founds. Like my Chicago ones are from '94. Like I've had them since then.
Wow.
So they're still wearable, but I need a new pair. And I was stupid and didn't buy the 2015 pair. I could have had them for like $80. But
That's all
you know,
right. You had your eyes on other things. That's all right.
yeah. So I'm hoping that you know um, Saturday will be good to me. But the sneakers app isn't always good to me either. It's giving me some stuff, but
Good.
we're about to get there in a minute. You know what I'm about to ask you next.
Uh,
So, um, what is your biggest win that you've had over like the last 5 years? Is there one that like sticks out or?
oh yeah. So to be truthful, I've only won twice. On
Wow. Okay.
I won the first time they were black and yellow dunk lows.
Okay.
They were in transit and got stolen.
Ugh.
And my other win were the OG Brotherhoods that I did get. So
Wow, they stole your
they
dunks. Like
stole them.
you wearing a women's 10. That's like a popular size, but it's not at the same time. It's a
Right.
bit 8.5. That's surprising.
I was shocked. I was calling everybody. I was calling FedEx, UPS. I called Nike. I called everybody, and nobody had answers for me.
Yeah. So it was FedEx. It wasn't like Laser Ship or nothing. It was FedEx that stole them.
I think in transit, somebody saw what it was, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna just take these home. They free, and they took them.
Okay. I'm sorry that happened.
I appreciate you. It's all good.
Okay. All right. So what is that holy grail shoe, that shoe you really want that you just don't have yet? Have we discussed it yet? Is it one of those
We
ones we talked about?
definitely talked about it. The Lally May 14s.
That's that is your top shoe above even those Melody of Shinies with the watches.
Yes, and I only say that because I'm partial to green, as you can see.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Well, now that I know your size, the Khalifas. I mean, the Melody of Shinies are gonna be the only one that's gonna be hard to
You know
get. You know.
they are right now on resale.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know.
That's
So
they had to go down on my list. I was like, you know what? I don't need them that bad.
yeah, before because I was gonna get them for my wife last Christmas,
Yeah.
but she would have been upset at how much they were going to cost. So she got them earlier this year on really good win, But yeah, they go because I really wanted her to. I wanted to give them to her because I wanted to do it.
Right.
But
Right.
it's all good.
It's all good. But kudos to her. She got some heat, okay?
Yeah, yeah, yes. She got some stuff. Oh man. Um, what would you say right now, out of all the sneakers you have, is your go-to shoe? Where you like, well, I'm gonna kill him today with this.
Oh, Animal Instinct 11s.
Really, I've seen you post those a few times. Okay, I wasn't expecting that to be the thing, but all
Yeah,
right.
that's I'm like, oh, it's over. I like a good black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So I like those. And recently, I did a little video about the twos. I did not have a good relationship with the twos. Are you
Uh,
a fan?
Jordan twos?
Yeah.
Oh, I love them.
Okay. So up until 2 weeks ago, was not a fan.
Okay.
And then the Titans came out.
So that's the white and green one with the orange.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, green. You said green, so yeah, I would have liked to have had those. They've had some really good twos this year.
And the story behind them, I always love to hear the story and the design that goes into the shoe. And that story was top notch, was amazing. The designer, it was to honor her grandfather who played on the national team for the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Tough.
Yeah, yeah, twos are great. Like in a perfect world, I'm gonna say this on air too.
Okay.
If I get these Chicago ones,
Uh-huh.
the white red two,
Hmm.
and men three in March, I might be done with Jordan.
Well, you have a collection where you can be. We talked 1994. You still got some stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, and I'm not on here bragging, but like, if it's anything else, it will be replacing something that crumbled or something like
Right.
that. A Bird
True to that.
5,
You're not
Olive 5, you know.
a cat.
Oh,
A
shout
cat.
out to everybody in the chat, man. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I love y'all. Oh, man. Now, this is a tough question, but I have to ask you, have you ever succumbed to sneaker hype?
I try not to.
Okay.
I I
Okay.
I like to buy what I like, and that's always been my motto. Things that sometimes that are unpopular to people, if I like it and I can style it the way that I want to style it, I'm getting it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I appreciate that.
Hmm.
Um, so what is people in these comments, what's the shoe that everyone loves that you just don't?
Oh, well, up until a few weeks ago, like I said, the two.
The two. Well, I don't know if everybody loves the two, but I got you. I
I,
got you.
I don't know one person who doesn't.
Really?
I have not met one person who does not like the two. And when I would say that I didn't, they would look at me like I had 17 heads. And I was just like,
Hmm.
no.
Oh man, this is great. All right. So what's the shoe that everyone hates that you love?
Hmm. I don't think that this shoe everybody hates, but it's definitely slept on. The Adidas Oswego.
Okay.
I feel like that shoe is definitely slept on, and I love that shoe. They're comfortable. I love the silhouette. Like, it's definitely slept on. So I don't know if there's a shoe that I like that everybody hates, but I definitely have some shoes that people sleep on. And I actually created a newsletter about that.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to rock with the Oswego back in the 90s.
Right.
They've only retroed the two. I wish they would bring back the Oswego one. I used to have it in white, navy, and green. I don't know
Yeah.
why I remember, but I used to have them back when I was in high school. So,
Oh, that's
uh,
dope.
yeah, the area I was from, they were just really popular. But they've done a lot with the Oswego too. You know, they brought it back in quite a few colorways and
Mhm.
kind of Yeezyfied it a little bit.
A
You
little,
know,
a little bit, yeah. But I don't mind it. I don't mind
yeah.
it.
I like that they've tapped back into some of their '90s runners. They've renamed a lot of them. I'm glad they left that Oswego name, but you know the young one and the young '96, they were definitely called other things back in the '90s because I remember people having them, but
Yeah.
I can't recall. I think one might have been called the Falcon or something. I don't know. There were other names back then. Young '96.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So we're already in the fourth quarter.
All right.
Um,
Lunchtime.
so about area he was from sounds like a traitor. Shout out to my homies in the comments there. It's all right. I'm gonna holler at y'all in a minute. But uh, so now we'll talk about sneaker future. When you think about your collection,
Mhm.
what direction would you like to see it go in the future?
Direction, what do you mean?
Like,
Colorway, silhouette, what do you mean?
kind of what I say, what direction you plan it to go? Like, what do you want to get into, or what do you want to have more of, or what silhouette do you see yourself going towards that maybe you don't have a lot of, or you don't have it all?
Well, I definitely want to tap into the fours a little bit. I don't have any fours. I heard that they are a little bit uncomfortable, but I want to see that for myself. How do you have fours? I'm sure. How do you feel about the fours?
Um, I mean, it's the black and red one with the gray, the OG black and red, the white cement. Like those are shoes I have to have at all times.
Hmm.
I've heard people talk about the comfort. What usually works for me is I don't use the crowns.
Mm,
You know, I don't like for them, you know, on the wings to be hanging like this,
right.
but the ones that are near the toe, I might have the first eyelid, but the rest of them is just underneath it because back in the day it was made to, you know, kind of be on your foot for lockdown, but
Right.
the lockdown is just turned uncomfortable. So that's what works for me.
Okay. Okay. Um,
Uh,
you're like a sneaker historian.
well, thank you. I'd like to think that, you know, I post a lot of stuff. I've been kind of lazy with my Instagram lately, but, you know, yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
How do you like sixes?
I just got my first pair a month ago. I got the Chinese New Year lows,
Mm, the white and gold. Okay.
and I love them. Um, and just the colorway, it's just I don't know. I just love it. Neutrals and greens and oranges. It's my thing. So I definitely like them. In terms of comfort, they're all right. Like they're not like super, super comfortable, but they're all right.
Okay. Okay. Now, the sneaker life is a life I always say it's kind of like how the rappers say, this is a life we chose,
Right.
right? It's definitely a lifestyle. So, how do your family and significant other view your hobby?
Um, well, my mom is definitely like, you have enough. Why are you still buying more? Um, and I mean, my older brother, he understands because he's one of the people who inspired me. Him and my uncle are the two people who I would always look at their feet first and be like, "Yo, those are fire." Um, my husband, I think he's just accepted it now. He's just like, you know what? This is just a part of who she is. Um, and she styles him, and I just think he's accepted it. Like the what it's like my equipment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, is he into the hobby or the culture at all?
No. He's not really into sneakers like that. Um, but I think I'm having an influence on him now, and he's asking me like, "Oh, so what does this mean?" So I started this series on Instagram called Kiction of the Day, and it's where I like break down the words and the terms and all of these things that people who are not in the sneaker world would know. So I broke down colorway, silhouette, all of these things. And one of the reasons I did that was because of him. And a lot of my other friends who are not really into sneakers and some family members, they'd be like, "What does that even mean?" And I was like, "I'm gonna tell you and everyone what it means." So
Got you. Got you.
yeah.
Okay. Um, just two questions left before we get into something else.
Mhm.
What is on your radar next?
Um, sorry, I was just reading the comments. They say no, he is not. Yeah, he's trying. Yeah, he tries. He tries. I'm sorry. Could you repeat your question one more time?
That's okay. What release or what's sneakers on your radar next?
Truthfully, um, it probably won't be until after the new year, and I'm only saying that because what I've seen so far, outside of are they cherry 11s? Is that what they're called?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really bad with like the names. I'm better with the colorways. Outside of that one, I think all of the ones that I might be interested in, they're in 2023. And even with
Okay.
the cherries, like when I purchase a shoe, I'm always interested in the longevity of it. Like I always look to see, is this gonna last long? Because I know that certain bottoms turn fast. Like a lot of Vapor Max bottoms turn fast. A lot of Jordan, depending on what bottom it is, will turn fast. So that bottom of the cherry, I feel like it's not going to last long unless, you go send it off somewhere or whatever. It's going to turn over time. So,
Yeah. Got you. Got you. All right. Um, so before we go into your content, what you do, how these people can find you, do you have any questions for me?
yeah, so what started I guess your interest for sneakers? What led you to create a YouTube channel? Were you doing unboxings? What started all that for you?
My sneaker moment was way back in fourth grade, 1991. My dad came home with the Black Infrared 6. It was the new Jordan at the time.
Ooh,
He had the entire kit. So this is 91. So he had the short set, he had the hat,
come
he
on.
had the bag, and he had the shoes on. And that infrared, it was like glowing. And like that moment is like etched in my mind to the point where I'll never forget it. And he didn't get me a pair because I'm 10 at the time, so almost 11, so my foot is growing crazy. So I got my pair the next day.
Okay.
But just that feeling of everybody, the notoriety that came with it, I was like, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. And that NBA season, 90-91, was really like the first year I was really into basketball.
Okay.
You know, what was going on aside from just, oh, the Lakers won, you know, Magic won. Other than that, you know, just being a little kid. So 90-91 was the first year I really was into it. And, you know, what's kind of kept it going is I have no problem saying if I wasn't into sports, especially basketball, the way I am, like I wouldn't have no bunch of Iversons or the Gary Paytons, you know, any of that stuff. I would just maybe have a couple Jordans
Right.
and, you know, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
it's sneakers, hip hop, and um, basketball are like the holy trinity to be.
Okay.
You know, they all coincide with each other. So that's kind of how it started for me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And it did. I mean, it's all a part of the culture. So
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you have
I'm
anything
sorry.
else for me? Oh, did you have any other
Um,
questions for me?
yes. Your YouTube channel. What inspired you to start your YouTube channel? Have you always been kind of like the person who likes to interview people? Do you have a entertainment or television, whatever background? Like, tell me about that.
No, no. I started my YouTube page is really it's really old. I started it back in like 2008,
Okay.
but I've restarted, you know, 3 different times. So it's really a lot of it is just from 2018 to current. But I just like talking about sneakers. So that's kind of what made it happen. I've always felt like I'm good behind the camera. I feel like I have a decent voice. So, you know, I'm like, well, nobody's asking me or inviting me on shows, so I'm gonna just do my own show. And
Okay.
it's kind of, you know, blown up a little bit. So, um, you know, so that's kind of how it started. Just really wanting to connect with other people in this life.
Mhm. Awesome. That's dope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, for whatever reason, Instagram only lets me do lives for an hour now. I don't know why, but um, I want you to tell the people about everything that you know you do, how and where they can find you, and you know all that.
Okay, guys. So, like I said in the beginning, I go by Tubby. I create a lot of sneaker styling content, informational content about sneakers. I have the Kiction of the Day where I break down the words and the terms of the sneakerhead world. I also have a newsletter called Sleeping Beauties, and that focuses on all of the sneakers that mainstream media does not really show, but that are still fire and they deserve highlight to be highlighted and to be loved on. So, yeah, I love sneakers. I've always loved sneakers. It's a part of who I am and the basketball culture growing up. Like my teammates and I, we would always be like, "Oh, you copping these? Or are you getting these?" It's just, I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of just what I do, who I am. I also do hosting and all of these other things. But if you head over to my Instagram and my website, you'll see all of the different things that I've done so far, and hopefully we can connect and be friends.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've seen some. You know, um, if you ever need a guy's opinion on things, you know, I'm always around. So, you know, definitely feel free to hit me up. But I definitely appreciate you, you know, being here. Know you're a busy lady, so thank you.
Of course. Do we have time? I see some questions in the chat.
Yeah,
What's
we got a few minutes.
okay.
Um, what are your top 3 must-have
Oh,
sneakers?
that's my friend. Hey, Reese.
So, what was your
Um,
top 3?
top three must-have sneakers. I would definitely say ones must have. They're
Okay.
versatile. They can go with anything. Dress up, dress down. Must have. Um, two Oswego's. I will Oswego's anybody to death because I love those shoes. My friends could tell you. And three, I would. I would say I've recently become a Vapor Max fan, and they're very comfortable, especially if you're running errands, working out, whatever it is. Vapor Max and Vapor Max Plus.
Okay, okay, okay. What sneakers did you buy that are worth the splurge?
Um, who? My Animal Instincts. Those
Okay,
those Jordan 11s. That was the most I've ever spent on a sneaker.
okay.
So much.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like I've never, and it's been years since I did that. I mean, I've never paid more than 300 for a pair of shoes.
Yeah,
So
I haven't either.
at least for me, at least
Yeah,
for me. I mean, I got a few things for my wife that have surpassed that, but
you better
yeah,
go be a good husband. All right now.
yeah. Thank you, thank you. Oh man. I guess if I had to pick a top three for me,
Mm-hmm.
would be, and I gotta. It's a shameless plug because I work for Converse, but gotta have a pair of Chucks in there,
Absolutely.
pair of Jordan ones,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, I'm gonna pick the Air Max 95 as shoe
Ooh,
number.
that's a nice one.
Yeah, you know,
I Hike Run Star. Is that what they're called?
Run Star Hike.
Yes. I
Mhm.
love them. I just bought my first pair and I'm in love.
Good, good. Yeah, I actually wore some of those earlier this week.
All
So
right now.
yeah, because it's easy for me to get them. Because I mean, most guys think they're just for women, even though it's a unisex shoe. They
Right.
aren't really popular amongst the guys, so they get down cheap. Like I don't think I've ever paid more than $50 for a Run Star Hike, and I've got probably 5 or 6 of them. So
Wow.
you know,
You better, that's not bad.
yeah. Let's see here. What's the most underrated sneaker in your opinion? You go first.
The most underrated? Oh man. I'm trying to like scan. Um, Underrated. I would say that's a hard question. But one sneaker for sure that people sleep on, I think, are the Prestos, the Nike Prestos. For,
Interesting.
for me, comfort, those are so comfortable. I love them.
Yeah.
What about you? It looks like my answer was kind of like you weren't really feeling it too much and you was trying to be nice.
Nah, I don't have any issue with Prestos.
Mhm.
I have some, but I'm not gonna say I'm a Presto guy.
Okay,
They were exciting when they came out back in 2000 because they had all those colors and
great,
prints and
great.
stuff like that. But um, there are other Nike running shoes like, even though they're similar, I would probably take the Huarache over the Presto.
Ooh, which Haraki?
Because the just the regular Huarache run.
Okay, because there's a basketball Harachi that I remember wearing, and I wasn't sure if you were referring to those or the ones that are out right now.
Nah. The Flight Huarache from the '90s. It's a decent shoe, but it's kind of hard to wear casually.
I agree.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just said I agree with you.
Yeah. And then the Huarache 2K4, the shoe that was really supposed to be the Kobe one when he was caught up. That's the best basketball shoe I've ever played in back when I was still light and young enough to play basketball. So,
We
you
already
know,
spoke about this. You're seasoned, okay?
yeah, but if I feel like if I hit the court, I might pull an Achilles or something, man. It might not be good. So, ooh, they coming with the questions. Man,
My friend. Hey y'all. Hey Nikki. Hey Reese. Hey Kels. And who
what
is that?
speaker has
RB
the best story? Yeah,
Best Story? Is
it's
that
somebody. Yeah, that's the one I was on. I just
Oh, hey Lewis. Um Best Story. Behind the Shoe? Um for me right now it's Titan because it's most recent and it's most impactful to me because it made me love the two. So I
that's
kind already talked about it, about her and Alyssa and her family, her grandfather playing for the Philippines national team in 1954 and honoring him. I thought that was fire.
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Which celeb or b-ball player sneaker is most overrated? Hmm. It's hard to say. I'm about to table that question. I don't really have that for it.
I I I think LeBrons are overrated.
Come on, man. You can't say that. I got two LeBrons right here. You can't be talking like that. Hey, nah, it's definitely a niche shoe, and I feel like LeBron's the retro part of it, like he's not there yet. He's not there yet, and the retail price is too high on a lot of his retro sneakers.
And it's just like if I'm not hooping, I'm not wearing them. Like if and even if I was hooping, they're too heavy. So unless he makes them lighter, then I'm not wearing them.
No, I feel it. I mean, um, that's why with his new shoe, I guess they made it a lot lighter. It's not as bulky or whatnot.
Yeah, I haven't
But
checked.
yeah, it's but I can respect that. I can respect that. What made Jordans so successful then? I'm gonna just say with Jordans, they had off the court appeal, and it was the time that it all happened.
Yeah. Champion.
Like, yeah, I mean, it was like the internet, cable, all that shit happened all at the same time. He was blowing up, and the Bulls, and Magic and Bird started fading, and he started rising. It just kind of it was like a perfect storm for everything, and
Yeah.
because I tell people, people act like Nike was always on top, and I'm like, I don't really feel like Nike really took over the shoe game until the late '80s.
Okay.
Because even in the mid '80s, as far as basketball, at least Converse had all the stars.
I was gonna say Converse was it in the 80s.
Yeah, they had Magic and Bird and Dr. J and Bernard King and Isaiah Thomas. Like,
Woo.
had everybody.
Yep.
You know, but yeah, to me, starting with like '88 with the three, that's when Nike,
Mm-hmm.
that's when Nike kind of took over because Converse still had they were the official shoe of the NBA, I think, until 1994.
Oh wow. See, I told you a historian. Look at you giving out dates.
No, I appreciate that. What do you think someone needs to market as a sneaker?
Reese, yes with the questions. She knows how to throw them questions out there.
Personality and social media would say personality. If you're talking about somebody's shoe, like
Yeah.
you're really trying to push John Morant right now.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So many questions. I love it.
How do y'all feel about Yeezy sneakers?
Can I be
I have a few.
can I be honest?
Yeah.
I don't own a pair of Yeezys because they were always too expensive for me. Like they just came off really expensive when they shouldn't have been that expensive. So I would have felt bad that I would have purchased them and they really weren't worth that expense.
Do you need to be an athlete though? I don't feel like you need to be an athlete. It's just much easier that way. I mean, you could be a recording artist, but to me, that's them with mixed reviews.
Travis,
Recording. Hmm?
Travis.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say this before we go because it's gonna cut me off in a minute. But I know that Travis is a renowned producer, but I don't really understand why he is the guy. Like I understood why Kanye was the guy. I even understood when Drake came out with all the OVO Jordans and stuff. Like I kind of got it, but I don't really get it with Travis. I don't know if it's the Kardashian thing. I don't know if it's that. Maybe that's a factor, but he's never really been mainstream enough to me for having a sneaker like Nike has let him do.
Right. And J. Cole, my friend Nikki said J. Cole has sneakers too.
Yeah, he's got some Pumas. So I guess you don't have to be an athlete. To me, it's just easier to market a successful athlete who's winning. He's a winner. Get his shoe. He's a winner. It's easy. But that's just me.
Yeah.
But listen, I really appreciate you being on here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. This has been great.
Oh, no problem. I hope that we can do some more content in the future.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
All right. Well, look, you have a wonderful evening. Thank you to everybody in the comments.
Bye, friends. Thank you.
Peace, y'all. Thank you.